The DUNU DK3001 BD has been subject to a lot of praise recently, and I'm excited to dive into this IEM a little bit further and see if it's worth the hype. Hey everybody, I'm Matthew from Bloom Audio, and today we're going to be taking a look at the DK3001 BD, a new tribrid from DUNU retailing at $500. The driver configuration on this one is one dynamic driver, 4 balanced armatures, and 4 microplanars. We got a lot to talk about, and I'm going to preface this by saying that is the last time I will be naming it by its full naming convention. I will be referring to this IEM as the Braindance, as I cannot do any more of the DK3001 BD. That's just ridiculous. So the first portion of this IEM we look to unpack here is its aesthetics, where I think DUNU knocked it out of the park as usual with Braindance overall look and shell design. Braindance explores somewhat of a cyberpunk and futuristic aesthetic that I think they just did a really great job on. It's a very clean looking IEM. It's original and an aesthetic that I don't think has been explored much, and I'm really glad that they took something new in their design approach. I think they really knocked it out of the park here with Braindance's overall look. Folks, there is a reason DUNU sells IEM cables as a standalone option in their store. They do a great job at making very high quality cables, and Braindance is no exception. The shielding after the Y split of this cable is very soft. It feels great, and the bottom portion of the Y split is thick and it doesn't have any memory to it, so there's a really nice feel here. It doesn't get tangled too often, just has a very premium aesthetic to it that I just think looks great and really complements the faceplate of Braindance. This is also a modular cable, so you can easily go from 3.5 to 4.4, and DUNU throws you a bone here, throws in a 6.3 adapter, so you can easily go from 3.5 to 6.3 for easy source swapping. As for the rest of the goodies inside, DUNU really just went all out here. If you've had DUNU IEMs in the past, you're probably used to this at this point, but still it is a welcome surprise each and every time. The 2 cases included here, one, you get like a white leather design that really goes with Braindance, and you also get another little traveling pouch here. It's really good for keeping your IEMs safe and protected when you're on the go. You also get a cleaning cloth, a cleaning tool, and a shirt clip, if you're one of like the 5 people that uses a shirt clip with their IEMs. Now to finish up, we also have the ear tip selection, and I think this is where DUNU really does a great job at completing the IEM with the ear tips included. It is very important to get a good seal and a good tip that you can rely on for comfort and also for sound quality. If you go in and just listen to one tip, you're really not getting the full experience. I highly encourage you to go through aftermarket ear tips and ear tips that you get included in your IEMs, because they can drastically change the sound. My ear tips of choice with Braindance was the Elitech Baroque. I think they did a really great job of sealing, creating long-lasting comfort, and really opened up the bass response. Now we do have to hold a moment of silence for my SpinFit Omnis, as I was originally using them with Braindance. I found them to choke the bass a little bit, and as I was removing them, they did rip in half. I eventually got a new set, so it's really not that sad of a moment, but yeah, they did bite the dust. It was rough. That transitions us perfectly into comfort. I was able to get a really nice seal with Braindance, get really long listening sessions in, but if you are more prone to larger shell size discomfort or nozzle size discomfort, that may be something to keep in mind here. It is a little bit on the larger side. Braindance definitely lived up to the high expectations I have set with DUNU's unboxing experience, and really they just killed it. It's really fleshed out. The aesthetic is great. All the included goodies are just phenomenal. So DUNU, A+, and just a fantastic job to the team for their overall creative design approach here with the faceplate of Braindance and also the included accessories. Transitioning into objective sound, as always, you got the graph on your screen. I have it here on my phone. Starting off in the bass, this is definitely a more sub-bassed, emphasized IEM. Not too much mid-bass, and I am a little bit of a sucker for mid-bass, so we're going to talk a little bit more about that in subjective sound. But yeah, if you like sub-bass, you're going to get it here for sure. There's a little bit of a scoop in the lower mids to kind of make room and make way for that sub-bass, but you have a very clean, linear mid-range here that is just very well articulated and very well presented. Into the upper mids, I definitely think female vocals have slightly better presentation to them than male vocals, but that may just be a preference thing here. I do think vocals as a whole are presented quite well and pretty naturally. but just in my listening impressions, I did think that female vocals were a little bit better than male vocals. As for the treble, you definitely get a little bit of energy here, and I think that is a good thing because I'm just kind of tired of safe treble tunings. I like something with some energy and some flair to it. I definitely think Braindance has that here, and I think DUNU did a really good job of making something both lively and energetic without just being uncontrolled and piercing or sibilant. I think they did a really good job of combining a lot of different characteristics in their treble to make it very upbeat and add a lot of energy to the sound signature without overdoing it. Now, as for subjective sound and my listening notes, I definitely realized that sub-bass emphasis quite quick that kind of broke up the neutral tuning that DUNU had in mind here with Braindance. A track like Ski off Future's newest album, Mixtape Pluto, gave me a great look at just how much sub-bass Braindance could offer. I'm not going to flat out say this is a bass lover's dream or anything like that, but I do think there is enough bass here to satisfy both someone looking for something a little bit more neutral and balanced, and also something with some nice engagement. I don't think it ever sounds lean or disproportionate. I just think there's a nice amount of sub-bass presented here that will satisfy a good amount of listeners. That lower mid-range scoop that I talked about in the objective sound definitely helps out this sub-bass transition well into the mids without any type of bleed, because there is a good amount of sub-bass here. I do wish there was a little bit more mid-bass hit, as I'm definitely more geared towards something that is a little bit more mid-bass emphasized rather than sub-bass emphasized, but again, here I think there's a very lively bass response that goes a long way in just breaking up the neutrality of this IEM. Really makes it engaging. I think it's quite a fun IEM. The more and more you listen to it, the more deep bass tracks you give it. I think Braindance, there was never really a moment where I was like, this is lacking in note weight, this is lacking in that richness in the bass response. I think Braindance really knocks it out of the park in the sub bass, gives something that goes very deep and well extended into those low frequencies. So if you're a sub bass fanatic here, I don't think Braindance is going to let you down. I think it'll definitely live up to expectations. As for the mid-range of Braindance, I think this is where I was most let down. Maybe I went in with too high of expectations or was just looking for something a little bit different here, but if you're looking for something very rich and weighty and warm, I don't think that's really what Braindance has to offer. You get something very clean and transparent, and that's definitely not a bad thing. Everything is well articulated, and this is a very decisive IEM in how it presents its mid-range. Now, what I mean by that is the naturalness that Braindance presents here in the mid-range. There's a good amount of information and detail presented here that is going to appease a lot of listeners. However, for someone like me who likes some body and weight to these instruments and to female and male vocals that may even be unnatural, that may even be a little bit too warm or emphasized, I was missing that here, and I can't really knock what Braindance is presenting or offering here, because I think a lot of listeners will like it. I think a lot of listeners will listen to it and say, yeah, this is very well articulated, this is very clean, and that is a very good thing because it presents a lot of information and detail very well. I also felt like this was most evident when I paired it with something like my DX180. That is very clean and only adds just a little bit of mid-bass emphasis to my ears. It doesn't add that type of warmth that I'm really looking for. That's where I went to my TA22. If you have tubes and you're looking to pair Braindance with that, I do think it was something that really worked out for me, but there was a little bit of hiss when I was at 0 volume. So if you're looking for a very clean reproduction, if you're looking for a dead, quiet, pitch black background, you're not gonna get that here. I never really think you're gonna get that with IEMs and tube amplifiers. Sometimes you do if they're really hard to drive, but on Braindance there was a little bit amount of hiss. So if you're looking for that pitch black background, you probably won't find it here. At comfortable and moderate listening volumes, that hiss did tend to go away, and that mid-range, holy cow. 2 police officers flying down the road. Imagine our stock room just getting broken into and I'm in here filming a video. Everybody's freaking out and I'm just in here talking about the Braindance. So at moderate and comfortable listening volumes, that hiss did go away and that mid-range was warmed up just a little bit. So I really enjoyed my TA22 pairing here for sure, and it did give me a little bit more of what I was looking to achieve with Braindance. Now, as for the vocals of this IEM, I felt like this is where Braindance was at its best in the mid-range. A track like Anything For You by Jordana Madonna was done very well with this IM. Again, I thought female vocals were a little bit better than what male vocals had to offer here. I thought they were a little bit more engaging, a little bit weightier than male vocals that could just kind of come off as sometimes lean or lacking that husk and body to them. I thought female vocals were very engaging. They had a kind of sweetness to them that male vocals just didn't really have. Now, as for that energetic and lively treble that I was talking about, an objective sound, this is where I did really enjoy Braindance. I've been listening to a lot of smoother IEMs, and while that is fun to do for a little while, I do like something that kind of takes risks here, has a lot of energy with the crashing of cymbals and instruments like brass. So I thought Braindance really captured those well and just did a great job of keeping me kind of on the edge of my seat in my listening. If you're someone that doesn't like this energetic and lively treble, I don't think there was characteristics to it where it was ever sibilant and just unenjoyable, but if you're a little bit more treble sensitive and don't really want something that puts an emphasis on the treble, you may not like Braindance, but if you get a chance to listen to it, I'd still give it a try because I think it can surprise you in how much detail and information it can present without ever being sibilant or just obnoxious. Now, as for the staging and imaging, I was very pleased with what Braindance had to offer here. I watch way too much audio content, and I was listening to Fresh Reviews, who does a great job at kind of detailing the staging and imaging of IEMs, and I would have to agree with them here. I think the depth and sense of space that Braindance is able to offer is very well captured here, and I think DUNU's always actually done a very good job of this. Their flagship Glacier has a very holographic sense of imaging and spacing to it. I think you get a small taste of that here with Braindance, and again, it's just very well articulated. It doesn't feel stretched or unnatural really at any point, and just has a very well decisive nature to it. So where does that leave me on my final impressions of Braindance? What is the final verdict here? For me personally, I wouldn't say this one would be making it into my collection. I think that mid-range implementation was just not really tailored to my tastes as much as other IEMs have been. However, Braindance offers a very compelling case to a lot of different buyers. When you factor in the ear tips included here, the traveling cases, the cable, and the overall design language and excellent construction of the faceplate here of Braindance, you start to see all these elements really start to stack on top of each other. When you pair that with the pretty darn good sound of Braindance, you start to see why reviewers were so quick to recommend this to so many different buyers. If you're new to this hobby and you've been waiting to pull the trigger on a new IEM that brings a lot in its build and design and sound, if you're just a fan of DUNU's house sound or have had this one on your radar for quite some time, I think Braindance brings a lot of good to the table. I'm definitely understanding why this IEM has gotten the hype that it has. Thanks for watching. We actually don't have Braindance listed just yet at Bloom Audio due to stock limitations, but they should be coming to our store soon. Leave a comment down below if you want any comparisons about this IEM to anything else that I've listened to, if you want me to check out some other IEMs, or just want to tell me that my video sucked and I'm a total noob. Leave it all down in the comment section below. I'm always excited and ready to respond to each and every comment left on the video. If you're still on the fence about Braindance, want to know when we're getting this one in, or just have any general inquiries, feel free to shoot us a message at hello@bloomaudio.com or jump into a live chat. Me, Marty, and Caleb are ready and excited to talk more about audio with you guys, so definitely don't hesitate to reach out to us there. Be sure to like and subscribe, as we'll be back soon with more high-fidelity audio content.